What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Channel. I'm AJ Gills. How's it going? We're going to be starting something new today. I know I really didn't have any uploads up yesterday. Sorry, I was kind of in the process of moving my studio back to my apartment. But I talked about this game during the weekly show last week. This is a game called The Council. This is a narrative adventure game, kind of like Telltale, kind of like Don't Nod, but with a unique addition. This game actually adds in RPG elements. It's a really interesting concept. I've seen almost this entire first. This is an episodic series. There's 5 episodes. We only have the first one out right now. The entire series has been. I think the entire first episode it's been played. If you want to see another playthrough, well, please continue to watch mine. But go check out Christopher Odd. He's a great YouTuber. A big YouTuber probably doesn't need me, shilling for him, but he has a full playthrough of this. Some of the visuals are a little rough, and some of the voices sound kind of funky, but all in all, it's a really interesting concept. It's really neat. I like that very beginning this is probably a work of fiction, because this is set in 1973, I believe, but there's sort of a murder mystery element. We'll check this out. I accidentally hit new game and it just started immediately, so there we go.
Stop. You're not getting anywhere with this von Borchardt.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
Huh, that's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns up, I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
You know, Louis, I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk.
That's disturbing.
You've stolen something from me that I intend to get back. Where have you hidden it?
Von Borchardt, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling it at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours.
Well, that's unpleasant.
You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
You know, I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened the shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Von Borchardt. Von Borchardt.
Hmm?
Listen. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Let me do this. Trust me.
We can trust her, but I'm a man of action. And I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Or stabbed.
For God's sake, Louis, I told you to let me do it. Let me see.
You know, I was in control of the situation, Mother.
Oh, tell that to your nose. It's because of this kind of reaction that I prefer to work alone.
You ought to learn to trust me, Mother. You know, can't you be happy for once? We finally cracked the Von Borchert case.
He was just a middleman. He would have been more useful alive. How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me. You're much more important than you can ever imagine. Right, let's go now.
Alright. Speaking of the journal, okay, it's about a month later. That's pause, not my journal. I'm playing on PC with a controller, by the way. In the event anybody was curious.
Well done, Mother. You just had to pick up Von Borchert's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditched me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island. The least he could do is explain to me how he managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age. Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical object that you just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think about it.
Contrary to what one may be able to imagine, it was not the host himself who invited me.
Well now, Duchess, we find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some common interests, Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago.
I'm still trying to figure out how to open my journal.
The invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
Your Eminence, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my reasons for coming here to myself. I promise, it has nothing to do with the legendary party that you all appear to be preparing for.
I believe what you will, my son. However, everything is related to the legendary parties organized by our host.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that, Cardinal.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
And you, Duchess? You seem to be quite accustomed to things here.
Let's not answer any questions directly.
One can never get accustomed to what Lord Mortimer prepares for his guests. But you are right. This is not the first time I've been on this wharf.
If you've come back again, I imagine you must find it to be of some interest.
Here, everything is possible if you make the right choices. It really is up to you whether you leave better off or not.
Please excuse me if you find me overly curious, young man. I did not mean to cause you any embarrassment. Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
This guy's kind of a dick.
If you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious.
Oh, we have some famous historical figures.
I've gone for a better suit.
Are you alright?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got a thing for the Duchess.
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
Holy hell.
So?
Okay, it's done.
Did you put it in a safe place?
Yes.
What, your hand?
Sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah. No one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't. No. No!
You can run if you want to, Sarah, but you will pay. Done.
You.
Louis, are you alright? What's going on? Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you just go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sure. Yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly. Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Alright, now that we can kind of get up and walk around a little bit, I can kind of start talking. I'm trying to figure out how to open this journal. So I can start talking about some of the RPG stuff. I mean, as you can see so far, I mean, this is a narrative kind of adventure game, sort of like I said, kind of like Telltale and whatnot. Your choices have effects, you know what I mean, because we chose to act in that first scene. We have the scar across our nose, when if we would have chosen to not act, we wouldn't have gotten the scar. I also warn you guys, I know at least one person's path through this game, or at least this first episode, just because I've watched Christopher Odd's Let's Play.
I had something I wanted to ask you.
Just
but we didn't happen to
heads up.
run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
This isn't necessarily a blind playthrough for me.
Before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Okay, so when I say there's RPG elements, I mean there's literally classes. Now this has to do with our skills. Basically, as the bottom says, we can basically, this gives us rank 1 in all the skills of this class, but we can access the other skills in these classes, and I'll explain more about this stuff as we go. So we have the diplomat. The diplomat shines in society, a talented speaker. He avoids faux pas, and he can convince those with whom he is talking without offending them. Politics is his field of predilection. The occultist. The occultist is a master of deception, convinced of the importance of knowledge. He has acquired extensive expertise in science and the arts, using others to achieve his own ends does not bother him. The detective excels in investigation. He is trained to notice every detail in his surroundings as well as in people he questions. A hands-on man, he does not shy away from the direct approach. I like the detective class. I've seen Odd play that, and I like it. Diplomat is to me seems very much like a more talky class, but I'm gonna go occultist, just because. So there's 15 total skills, and now we have 3 points. Like I said, we have level 1 in all of these base skills in manipulation, occultism, erudition, science, and subterfuge. Basically, that lets us perform actions, and I'll explain actions. And over here, effort points to you again in a second. It's just kind of we'll kind of go. I'll explain as we go. Let's see here. Our pass grants us 1 conviction and 1 point in manipulation. So we could spend all 3 available points to go to level 2 in manipulation. But let's see here. What other skills could I use? I'm trying to think what could we use? Psychology, read other people's behavior. I'm actually going to use all 3 to get us a level 1 skill in agility. Now, to get to level 2 in our selected class of the occultist, it takes 4 points, 5 points for to get level 2 in the other classes. So there we go. That's you'll see why I chose agility. Again, I'm playing with some future knowledge of what's going ahead in the we'll go ahead in the game. Actually, let's take a look at everything we have here. We have books. One of the several volumes of the Master Alchemy, blah, 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 plus 1 skill point in occultism. Emily's Handkerchief and Mortimer's Invitation. Sorry, reading something for a group project. Alright, there's that. We have the journal of all the characters in the game. Let's see here. Screw it. I usually don't read these. You see this, the to be discovered? Those are weaknesses. And again, I'll explain weaknesses as we go, because again, this game has a lot of weird layers, and it's really interesting when you kind of really dig into it. Sarah Faustine de Richet is a rich French aristocrat. 34 years ago, Sarah took over one of the most important secret societies, the Golden Order, a woman of strong will. Sarah endeavored to infiltrate the highest circles of society, politics, God damn, I can't read. Transactions, secrets of state, or paranormal spheres. The Order had an eye on everything. One of the biggest areas of growth that Sarah brought to the Order was the development of its branches in America, Europe, and Central Africa, not to mention the expansion of her occult section, which she took care of personally. Since he was just a boy, Sarah has been preparing her son Louis to become the new face of the Golden Order. Giuseppe Piaggi, I think is how it's pronounced. His Eminence, the Cardinal Giuseppe Piaggi, is I don't know how to pronounce that, of Pope Pius VI. I don't know, I never really paid much attention to Catholicism. A distinguished speaker, Giuseppe Piaggi worked throughout his career to serve the principles of the Roman Catholic Church, a man of science and amateur philosopher. He quickly caught the ear of the Pope, who discreetly named him Cardinal in Pectore. I'm not entirely sure what that means. He was thus able to use the relationship of the trust to help Pius VI in his difficult mission of guiding the faithful. Invited by Sir Gregory Holm, Piaggi is delighted to meet his old friend Mortimer in order to represent the interests of the Holy See. We have our main character, Louis de Richet. I can't read French names. Louis de Richet. He's obviously our main character. The only son of Sarah, Louis Marie de Richet, I think that's correct, is a young Parisian aristocrat ever since he was a young child. That's right. Come to this child and listen to me pronounce French words incorrectly. Louis moved in his mother's circles, and so it was natural that on his 14th birthday he entered the Golden Order, the secret society headed by Sarah precocious. Louis progressed quickly at her side despite the daily treatment his mother prescribed for his chronic migraines. He climbed the ladder until he was able to assist his mother in occult cases, for which he was particularly talented. As time went by, he became shaped in the image that his mother had held for him. Everything pointed to one day young Louis becoming head of the Golden Order. And finally, Emily Hillsborough. Emily Hillsborough is an English duchess close to the English crown, very discreet about her origins. Emily only came onto the political scene after her wedding that some qualified as a marriage of interest to an old English aristocrat on the decline. Libertarian, modern, but discreet, she has taken it upon herself to establish close ties with her peers. In a few years, she has become the favorite diplomat of the Queen, which is what probably prompted her prime minister, William Pitt, to take her as private secretary, thus provoking much suspicion and jealousy. As a regular visitor, Emily accepted Sir Gregory Holmes' invitation to come to Lord Mortimer's Island because for nothing in the world would she miss one of these famed receptions. Obviously, we have the map, our character, it's the skill tree, I guess, and again, skills really matter. It's really cool. I'll explain it. Talents are kind of like achievements in a way. Basically, you do certain things like this, like ending an opportunity, successful will now return 1 effort point to you. Again, I'll explain what effort points are in a little bit. Reach level 3 in manipulation, level 2 in occultism and subterfuge. So once we do that, the top thing, ending an opportunity successfully, will now return an effort point to us. Or collector, picking up collector coins gives you more experience. Oh, it also works retroactively. So as you see, as we complete something, if we use them as manipulation skill 10 times, we gain 1 skill point in manipulation. Uncover all of Jacques Perreau's immunities and vulnerabilities, and we get 1 level in questioning. So if that's they're kind of like achievements, but they give you skill points for completing them. So, and then finally we have traits, which we gained. Let's see here, occultist class, we chose that one. We have scared, we gain 1 point in conviction. You have decided to act against your mother's, or scarred, it's not scared, I can't read. So that was for deciding to act, and we have charismatic presence, because we've always been charismatic, so we have 1 skill in manipulation. So.
Sorts of unsolved cases.
There we go, there's the journal.
Have you ever heard of the Abbey of Hexham?
Vaguely.
An ingenious scam involving mass manipulation on a scale never seen before.
There was a cavern under the abbey, wasn't there?
Exactly. The wind would blow in through spouts, creating a terrifying howling sound. So, to stop the howling, the priests called for offerings from the peasants.
And if they brought enough money, I'm guessing the priest stopped the howling. A perfect trick to fool simple souls.
Admit it, Duchess. That story kept you in suspense, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I'm delighted to find out that you were the young and brilliant French investigator.
For someone who only remembers the case vaguely, your memories are very clear.
Well, they say I have the memory of 2 people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
Not at all, so Lydor.
How could I forget a woman such as yourself?
A woman such as me? What a sweet talker you are. Remind me of how we met?
Alright, skills. Your skills give you access to unique choices and access at the cost of effort points. The higher your skill level, the lower the cost is in effort points. So think of effort points kind of like stamina, and your skills are, as opposed to, how to explain it, as opposed to a skill being like an attack, this game has combat, but it's all done within conversation. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's interesting. Make her lose her train of thought so we can try diversion. Pretend to be hurt and not believing her so we can use 1 manipulation. So let's use...
Emily, it hurts me that you could doubt my sincerity. I thought we'd gotten over that stage by now.
Don't take it like that, Louis. I was only joking. I thought you were making fun of me.
I thought you were someone I could trust. I'm hurt to see that you're still at this stage of testing me, Duchess.
Listen, Louis, I am sorry. I really didn't want to hurt you. Forget what I just said. It was clumsy of me.
If you say so. Let's go with that, then. Didn't see me, didn't know me. Push any harder and I'll make a fool of myself.
Right, time to go to the manor.
Opportunities, your skills allow you to discover hidden details. Select the object that is most suggestive of the situation in order to discover them. Opportunities do not consume effort points to access a skill required for the situation. You just need to have unlocked it.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me?
Okay, so there are correct answers in these. I was curious about that. Each person you meet on the island has their own personality, which makes them vulnerable to certain skills and immune to others. Exploiting the personality is crucial to achieve your personal goals. Skills used against immunities will not succeed and leave you exhausted. Meanwhile, exploiting vulnerabilities will give you 1 effort point back.
Emily, please excuse my insisting, but you still haven't answered about my mother.
Real quick. Just because I find this so interesting, like this immunity thing. So basically, how it explained it. Say I try and use logic against her. Not only will my action fail, but say it would cost 2 effort points to use the logic skill. It would now cost me 3. But say she's immune to, like, I just use manipulation. But say she's immune, say she's vulnerable to manipulation. Say that the skill costs 2 effort points. It would only cost 1, and will always succeed because it's manipulation. It's she's vulnerable to it. That's the best way I can explain it. It's like I said, there's combat, there's advantage and weakness, but it's all through conversation. I think this game it's so interesting the way this game does this.
Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
Like I said, the visuals might be a little janky,
You're connected to my mother.
and the voices might not match the faces and bodies, but
You don't have much of a place in her heart.
this game is super interesting. You obtain talents by carrying out certain actions. Yeah, like I said, we kind of already went over that. So now we have time to kind of explore and look around. Like I said, this game is just so interesting to me. It's so different. Royal Jelly restores 2 effort points. You cannot carry more. Okay.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Like I said, I'm just kind of gonna walk around a little bit, try and maybe find some stuff.
Great, honey.
Okay, yeah, there's a... I was about to say, is there like a dash or a sprint or something so I don't have to just kind of meander? Okay, we can go up there, but we can also see
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richet.
Morass. That's how that's pronounced.
Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richet's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
What can you tell me about the disappearance of my mother?
2 weeks have passed since Sir's mother went missing. All the staff here have since been busy searching every nook and cranny of the island. But Sir may rest assured, we shouldn't be long in finding her.
And just what have you found so far?
It would seem that Sir's mother may be hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this behavior necessary.
What do you mean?
On several occasions, we have found leftovers of food, a few of her things, or even traces of campsites. The reason why we're searching the wharf again is because lights were spotted there last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Because we don't have questioning.
Did anyone see anything else?
Unfortunately not, sir. Only lights were seen by servants of the manor, sir. And as I was saying, sir, all the guests were asleep, and no one seems to have noticed anything at all. We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richet. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here. Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Yeah, I don't have...
Pass me the handkerchief.
But sir, my orders were to give it to my master.
Are you refusing to give me my own mother's personal belongings? Even though she was greatly looking forward to meeting your master, she's gone missing. And you seem incapable of finding her.
Oh, but sir, please.
And to top it all off, you refuse to give me the handkerchief that she so often let me use? Do I deserve such little consideration in your eyes? Is that what you wish me to report to your master?
Love the
No, certainly not, sir.
close-ups of the eyes.
I have been such an idiot. Here you are.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think.
Fun fact about the, the servants. They're, not, they're pretty much vulnerable to everything.
This wharf. Latin inscription. Annesis, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus ergatur.
Ooh, I could do it without spending any points if I had linguistics, but we'll spend one, translate it.
You don't know, my son, how little wisdom the world is governed with. I tend to agree.
See, and I really like that, how that almost seemed like a wasted point until you go, oh, it gives me...
The barrel's been broken for quite some time.
Oh, it gives me a... See, and it gives me an immunity for Mortimer. I really like that. Alright, collector coins, they're kind of, what's the word for it? They're extras.
This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough. A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy.
Yep, I love video game inventory systems. Yep, we're just gonna put that item somewhere. Don't worry about where, but somewhere.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. A wooden floorboard. Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed.
Let's try and open the gate.
Locked. I'll never get it open barehanded.
Well, we can spend 3 and pick the lock. But I don't feel like spending 3 points. We'll use the iron bar we found.
Clearly, I'm not much for manual labor. Let's see if I can get it open another way.
Still, we can pick the lock for 3. I'll still take the easier option. We'll force it open for 2. Hence why I picked up the agility skill. Technically, I would argue that that's agility, but again, I know something. Little pro tip. There's something. There's like a loose floorboard or something. There's like her belongings or something sitting around just under the floorboards, but I can't do that because I don't have the necessary skills. If you use detective, or if you go to the detective class, it has a useful skill for that particular option. There we go. Amber fragments. This basically 4 of those gives us an extra effort point.
This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. The powder's wet. Not surprising, given the dampness of the dock. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble to arm themselves. I really must find you, dear Mother, and quickly too.
Alright, guys. You know what, I'll tell you what. We'll call this one here. I'll leave this video kind of short just because it's getting kind of late and I want to do one other thing before I head to bed for the evening. Because I got class in the morning that I should, probably be awake for. But we'll pick this up tomorrow, and I'll make sure it's longer. I'll also try and talk less, explain less stuff, and we'll actually get into more meat and more story in the next video. So thank you for watching. As always, find me over Facebook, Twitter, the website, Minds.com. Links, all that stuff is down in the description below. Please remember to like, comment. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Please, comments really do help me. I read them all. I respond to them all. I really like to know what you guys think of not only the games, but my playthroughs or whatever, talk less, this more, whatever. I'm always happy to hear suggestions and whatnot. So thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'm HAKels, the Samphire Gaming Channel. I'm out.